Meanwhile, on Krakoa, outside the external gate. Oh God, just hang on, Julio. Help is on the way.
Why the fuck bother? Oh.
Richter. Richter, can you hear me? Oh.
I hear you.
Oh, then fight. This poison, damn you! A mutant fights! I did not ask for this connection to you. You foolish boy. I wish I knew how to quit you.
I don't know how to quit you.
Lick. Oh, fuck.
Hey everybody, it is CBQ Legacy episode 151. I'm EvilJeff, and I'm joined, of course, as always, by Brett.
151
palindrome episode.
It's palindromic, CBQ, QBC.
Brett, what did we just hear a scene from?
That was a scene from Brokeback Mountain, the movie directed by Ang Lee. That was a scene from the second chapter of 10 of Swords, this one taking place in X Factor number 4. That one's written by Leah Williams, art by Carlos Gomez.
There's some gay shit going on.
There's some real gay shit going on. In fact, there's so much gay shit. We are on it. And so we're so on it. We need to we're going to skip hot topics, and we're going to go right to I Want Your Ex. Hit it. Well, this was the second chapter.
It was. And it was amazing. But you know what was even more amazing, Brett?
What?
Come on!
You got me. Damn it. I understand that you guested on another podcast.
I
Homo
did.
Superior
So this
X.
is the second time I'll be talking about this. Please go and listen to Homo Superior X, which you can find at wherever podcasts are sold. And I do a guest. I guessed on this, talking about this particular issue, and it's really fun, especially because it was weird. We're always on the same page, and I was not on the same page. Like, they are not big fans of X Factor, so I had to fight for the X Factor level.
Yeah, I listened to it, and you really held your own. And the whole time I was thinking, God, this must be hard for EvilJeff to do a podcast show about comic books with a bunch of wrong queers.
But it was fun. It's fun. We hardly ever... We disagree sometimes, but not that much. I find that very impressive. Why? I think it's because... Maybe it's because... I think it all stems back to we're the same age and we started reading X-Men at the same time.
And we're gay.
And we're gay, and we're sluts. And that has we both... Yeah, we just like the same shit for some reason.
We just like the same shit.
Although there is the one thing that we differ on, which
What?
is... Ryan Murphy, American Horror Story.
Oh, they love it? Oh, you and I.
I hate it, and you love it.
Yeah, I know. I haven't watched Ratchet, because I just haven't. What I want to know...
My one friend said there's a dumb scene where, she's talking to, some mental patient, and then she's like, you know what you should do? You should go upstairs and kill yourself. It sounds awful.
I hate it. What I really want to know about X Factor 4 is which one of the boys on Homo Superior X did you like the most? I'm just kidding.
What?
We can talk about the issue. I want to gossip about the other podcast.
They're all very cute.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway.
Like, they really are. We're not just saying that.
And then after
really
that, you don't hear this, but after the episode ended, we all did a circle jerk. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
A cam jerk off. I have a friend, he has an OnlyFans, and on his OnlyFans, you pay for his OnlyFans, and he gives you the link to this private Zoom that happens once a week where it's just 20 guys beating off.
Hot.
And you can join in on it.
slip that in my DMs.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
back to Krakoa. Ten of Swords.
It's interesting because I was thinking, oh, this is going to be what's happening with the X Factor team and how are they dealing with it. No, this is just continuing on. It does resemble X Factor because it's talking about resurrection protocols and it's talking about Polaris.
Yes.
So I find that that's fascinating, but I love that it just picks up right where the other one left off, which usually you're stuck with. There's so many issues. You're usually stuck with all these boring side stories that have nothing to do with the main plot. Hello,
right.
Empire. And I'm like, oh, I think every single episode or issue is going to be one big, huge, epic story. And that's incredible that it's that many issues. It's going to be that long.
Yeah, this ain't like a Marvel crossover where it's like, hey, and now in this issue, we're going to show you the same thing, but from the perspective of Quicksilver.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Right.
No,
right.
It's
this is like, nope,
it's setting
next
it
chapter
up.
in the story.
It's setting it up, and we see, and I see from how they're setting it up, we need to get through gathering all the champions first. We talked about a bit this last week.
We talked about Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Yeah. But everything that we said last week, do you remember last week how we decided who would win and who would lose, just assuming, oh, they'd die. And so be brought back. And so we were just like, yeah, well, here we go. So let's get started. I don't want us to go as insane.
No, we don't have to go as deep. No.
But first of all, let's pick up our reenactment from the beginning. What is going on with Richter and Apocalypse? And here's the one thing that we discussed in Homo Superior is a lot, and I gave my interpretation of why. They were very confused of like, where did all of this come from? Why are they so close? Like, why is this happening?
A lot of it happened off camera.
I think part of it happened off camera, but I think when he went through that gate in Excalibur and was like kind of trapped and then came out all more powerful, and the only person who was like trying to guide him back through was Apocalypse, and then he came out and fried all the externals, I think that somehow bonded them.
Yeah, but before, I mean, they've alluded to like our long talks. I mean, these two are just hitting it off, ever since.
What is going on?
Apocalypse came and saved him and fixed him and showed him this whole new life and then manipulated Richter to use him to create the external gate. But through that manipulation, a true friendship was formed.
Do you think is this more of a father-son thing, or do you think it's romantic?
Look, it's both. It depends on the reader, right? Like, going back to, we're all 40-year-old gay men who, like, read X-Men. Like, yeah, we're all going to see, or some of us, according to the show I listen to, we are all going to see the sexual gay romantic relationship. Because subtextually, it's there, but also, it's not there. Like, it's also a mentor-protege.
That's what I'm saying. It could totally be like, I see you as a son.
Yeah, of course. It's whatever you take away. The point is these two are close. Whether there's dick happening or not, that's up to the reader, but there is.
And we all know the reason Apocalypse has that jaw thing is so that he can unhinge it and deep throat.
Right. And swallow your shaft and balls.
Balls deep. Oh, and balls. That is, can I just share something way too personal? Yeah. I don't like having my balls sucked.
I have a threshold.
I'm too sensitive.
Yeah.
And some people think they can just do whatever they want. I'm going to twist them around. I'm like, I will punch you in the face.
Right?
Anyway.
They're not jawbreakers.
That like hurt.
So a lot of this is about, like, let's just hit the top line stuff. Like the closing of the external gate, which pisses Krakoa off. There is the resurrection of Rockslide, which is the bulk of this.
Yes.
There's the death and resurrection of Apocalypse and Richter. Actually, Apocalypse.
No, Apocalypse
does not get resurrected. Oh, he's not died yet. Richter has died. And was resurrected alongside Rockslide. Richter's worked out. Rockslide's did not. And we find out why. Richter died on Earth. Rockslide died in Otherworld. And when you die in Otherworld, it kills you for real. Like Freddy Krueger rules.
Yeah. And, well, it doesn't kill you for real. It's just that when
it kills the you that we know.
It's for the way these resurrection protocols work is that it will take the total because when you're in Otherworld, it's the nexus of all realities. So for some reason, it then just does an amalgamation of all the realities versions of you and puts you, and that's what you get resurrected as.
Which sounds chaotic. It sounds
well. That's the thing is, are you a million personalities, or are you one personality that's the combination of all of them?
The combination of all, yeah.
Because that's the thing is, we really did not see who Rockside was like, who is Santo? But it was interesting. He wasn't really saying much, so we don't really know. But he does have this new weird kind of slenderer look.
Yeah,
but
he's creepy.
But here we go. Question: why was he resurrected as Rox?
I don't care.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't care because he was. That's why.
Fine. I mean, that really doesn't make any sense, but
sure.
Okay. You're just like, I don't care.
I literally don't care about superhero logistics.
But what that does is they then also had to destroy all of Goldball's eggs were bad.
Yeah, so they thought the resurrection protocols themselves were corrupt. So they just got rid of, they wiped the hard drive, which meant they narrowed it down to like, well, it wasn't me. Well, it wasn't me. And of course, Goldball's egg is like, I'm the insecure one. It was me.
So they get rid of all the eggs. For a second, I thought when they went to resurrect Rockslide and it went to all of the backups, I thought all the backups were erased. And I was like,
they were just affected. Shit. And so EvilJeff, this is what I was screaming when I was listening to Homo Superior X. Like, I just wanted to, like, not that it was contradicting anything anyone said. I just wanted to make the point. Remember how you and I landed on the fact that all the regents of Otherworld's kingdoms were reality warpers.
Yes.
This is reality warping, what they did to Cerebro.
Yes, yes. Exactly, because all it did is it erased any, like, all of the Rocksides. Well, it just, of Rockslide. All of the backups of Rockslide were then replaced with that new Rockslide.
Yeah, with this otherworldly amalgamation of Rockslide, which is straight up reality warping.
But I also would just say, but hey, can't you just like, I guess if it's reality warping, I was like, can't you just take one of them offline?
Everything.
It overrules I guess reality
retroactively.
Warping. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. Crazy to see Moira.
I know, for one fucking second. Can we bring her the fuck back?
Well, I think she might be like, what just happened? Like, right? Wouldn't you think she's gonna come upstairs and be like, a backup just freaked out. What the fuck was that?
Well,
like,
I think
this is something that will rattle her.
Yeah, and I know they keep saying there's going to be a Moira comic, and you know what the whole plot of Moira's comic is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but...
You don't think it's going to happen? Oh, because I think it will just be Moira and Mystique.
Fun. I love that.
Like, come on. Even your cat loves it.
That was Moira! Next cat I get, I'm going to name her Moira.
So Richter's okay. Rockslide is not. It causes them to shut down all of the resurrection protocols. And now there's a new thing of like, hey, if you go to Otherworld and die, you're not going to come back. And that's the thing is they haven't decided, will we still bring the new person back?
Right.
And the one thing I do love is how Emma is the most pissed off and is the most human.
Yes.
Like, she's the one like, a person, you fuck with her students.
Well, don't forget who wrote this issue.
Who wrote this? Leah Williams. Yeah.
The ultimate Emma Frost. And I have to say, you did cite Leah Williams' West Coast Avengers.
Oh, she did. Who did that?
It's Kelly Thompson.
Oh, that's Kelly Thompson.
It's your Leah Thompson thing coming back to haunt you.
Leah Thompson. Leah Thompson ruins me. She's having some good tweets though. Leah Thompson, the actual Leah Thompson, the actress.
She is. Yeah, she's cool. Not like that Brooke Shields. So we have a focus on the 5. We have a focus on Polaris. It's very X Factor. Yeah,
because Polaris has implanted all of the champions.
The prophecies.
The prophecies of the champions are inside of her. And of course she has to get Magneto. It's like, you're a disgrace of a child, you stupid little bitch.
Yeah, he's like, do it already, Polaris, you
Come
suck.
on.
And she's like, ooh, daddy. Oh, and then it's so funny. As soon as she started blurting out these prophecies about who the champions are, I stopped reading and I made a list. I was like, okay, 8 years gone in seconds. Okay, that's magic.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that Dougie was going to do that for us at the end of the issue. Like, I didn't wait. I was like, oh, Dougie's right. I'm wrong.
So the interesting thing, though, is the prophecy does not list 10 people.
Yeah, it is interesting. But she makes 10 circles.
Yes. And Magneto is clearly in that picture as going to be one of the champions. And so it'll be interesting of like how he comes about. And the one thing that I also find interesting that we talked briefly about is the fact that I think because they haven't mentioned the Cerebro sword, I think that is definitely going to come into play as a tiebreaker like later on. But that's the weird thing is if it is a tiebreaker, here's the deal. If it is a tiebreaker, these are battles to the death, are they not?
I would assume so.
But if it's a tiebreaker, then that means 5 of these people die.
Yeah, but you know what? You got the Saturnine factor. Like, remember how Roma?
Yeah.
Remember how Roma was like, "Just kidding, you're alive now." Oh.
But they didn't die in Otherworld. But I guess she doesn't have the same. But yeah, Roma could do it. Roma could always bring them back. But Roma's like, too busy fucking. But Roma's too busy fucking. Where did this Roma come from? Let's talk about that really quick.
Yeah, the data page.
And the data page, we see that Roma and Merlin, who have never gotten along, father and daughter, never got along, and they fully like just split up their kingdoms. And now hers is like an orgy-filled. Hers is like the bonobos, and Merlin's is the chimpanzees. If you've done any like.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Bonobos are all about free love, sex, woo, matriarchy. Chimpanzees are strict patriarchy, violence, order. Yes. So I find that interesting. I don't remember Roma ever giving off any of that vibe.
Yeah, she probably kept it to herself.
Do you think after she resurrected them, after she resurrected the X-Men, she's like, oh, before I take you to Australia, wanna fuck? Let's all 69 each other.
Orgy. She's like, you're going to have orgies years from now all the time anyway. Might as well get started. So Polaris she cites the prophecies, and then she takes Rock Slide's, the original Rock Slide's remains, and she builds these circles, one for each of the 10 champions. And I would imagine Act 1 of 10 of Swords ends when all 10 people are standing in their respective circles in this ring of champions. And we get our first one.
Yeah. Magic.
And it's Ileana. She's like, beep, beep, motherfuckers. I'm ready to go.
And it's funny how most of the people are like, hey, this is me. This is me. I'm gonna
hers was easy. Her prophecy of 8 seconds, or 8 years gone in a second.
And I think
I loved
Yeah.
what Dougie said about her reaction to hearing it in the data page. Dougie's interpretation data page at the end. He's like, she made quite a pissed off face when she heard it.
Do you think she was pissed off that she was chosen, or she was pissed off by how she was described?
I think she was pissed off that they brought it up.
A young girl's friends used as weapons honed a woman's soul into a blade of her own.
She's like, we don't talk about that.
Well, Cable's is pretty obvious, especially since he just got a big new sword.
Yeah.
And the fact that did she remember, but they also, do they remember the names of the swords that she yelled out before too?
I think it's all knowledge she has inside of her.
Okay.
She does mention, like, Logan seems to be sure that so they don't quite equate the swords yet because of the line in Dougie's page, but Logan seems to be sure that the Muramasa blade is going to factor in here.
Yeah.
So Logan has a theory that Muramasa is his blade.
Yes. The other thing is Dougie realizes he is one of the people.
Oh, I loved what he said about his own prophecy.
But the problem is, can they really risk Doug dying? You know what I mean?
Who's gonna say? I mean,
who's gonna fucking talk to Krakoa? That's right. These are things they need to really
high stakes
think about. The stakes are finally high. It's like, hey, how do we give this high stakes if everyone can just come back to life? Let's remove that. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
I will say
it's
this
brilliant.
is brilliant.
Oh, God.
Storm is clearly going to be going to Black Panther to get her sword.
Skybreaker. A vibranium sword.
And then Captain Britain. I think Captain Britain and Betsy are going to be fighting out to see who it is. But I think is it going to be both of them? Like I'm still confused of what theirs is going to be.
We equated the Starlight Sword with Magneto last week. I'm tempted to say that Brian's going to have the Sword of Might and Betsy's going to have the Starlight Sword. That makes more sense since she's the current champion.
But then
of the Citadel.
but then why? Then that means there's a sword missing. Do you think Magneto
True.
has the Cerebro sword?
Maybe. I'm not even sold that Magneto is part of this. I'm not.
Or is that
piece of art
what
as
could that be?
gospel.
Polaris, a Magneto costume.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's Xavier with the Cerebro sword, and he's wearing Magneto's I don't know. I'm confused because it's all in silhouette. We have
play.
Gorgon. I feel like Gorgon is being set up to die because who gives a shit about Gorgon.
True.
And then we have Apocalypse. But here's the thing: is if it's a tiebreaker, that means 5 people are going to die and come back completely different, or not come back at all.
We'll see.
I think Gorgon we can have die. I bet you Apocalypse will play the big sacrifice at the end, so I feel like he's going to die.
Completely agree.
But here's the thing. Do you remember how Hickman has said Storm is having a huge upcoming story and she's going to change and it's going to be completely changed and completely different and it'll be a new Storm like you've never seen her before? I think she's going to die.
Me too.
And I don't want to erase that past Storm. I don't like that.
I know. They're going to do right by Storm. Don't worry about it. Like I said, you've got Saturnine in the mix. Like, they're not...
Because I have
there's gonna
2
be
words
surprises.
for you. Bloodstorm.
Oh, God.
Don't make another Storm.
Listen, I'm very worried about Dougie because they've shown the cover of the lineup of who the New Mutants are going to be after this. And Warlock is on there. Warlock's on the team. Douglas is not.
Oh, fuck. Wait, where did you see that?
The internet.
Fuck you. Like where? Like on CBR?
Twitter. I see everything on Twitter.
Is it like an image?
It's a cover of an issue.
Which issue is it? I want to see what it is.
I don't know the number. But it's the New Mutants issue. It's the new team of, let me do this from memory. Yeah, Rain, Honey Badger, Warlock, Ileana, Danny, Karma. A lot of lesbians on this team. I'm including Honey Badger.
Honey Badger's a lesbian? Isn't she supposed to be 10? So there's
Future lesbian.
Mirage, Magma. Is that Sunspot?
Oh, I don't know.
No, yeah, there's Sunspot, there's Cannonball. Wait, that's not
No,
Doug?
you're not looking at the right one. It is Warlock, Warpath, Wolfsbane, Karma, Moonstar, Honey Badger, and Ileana.
Okay, there we go. All right, I see it.
They're in. It's like the wild. Welcome to the Wild Hunt or something like that.
Oh, damn it. Well, that doesn't mean he could be just working on Krakoa, so he can't be on the team.
And remember Powers of 10 in the future, where one of the horsemen was Krakoa. And we thought he was Groot at first.
But it was like a Doug. It was like a.
But he was in Doug's body. He's like, this body used to be able to translate any language. Yeah.
Interesting. So he's probably gonna die. Why do
What
you
if
keep killing
Krakoa
Doug
absorbs
Ramsey?
him? What if Krakoa absorbs him and starts speaking English?
I want to be absorbed by Krakoa. No, I am worried. I'm very worried.
That's
the
good
point.
news.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's good news. I think it was like somebody on the show you did said, why did they have to take away Rock Slide? I'm like, because it hurt.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. And maybe this new Rock Slide will finally admit that he's gay and be with
Thank you.
Anoli.
Did you know there's a novel coming out about Anoli? There's like an X-Men YA novel.
Yeah, I saw there's another one with Tempest and Triage.
Yeah. I want to read these.
I don't want to read a novel. I'm actually
Oh my
reading
God.
sidetrack. I am reading like a kind of a gay superhero novel that's like almost like
Ew.
X-Men meets it's like X-Men meets Harry Potter but
Okay.
gay. And the thing that's interesting is it's basically like it's a world where there's superpowered beings, and but they're registered, and so they're put in these like orphanages because they're too
Okay.
dangerous to mix with society. And it's the guy who works at making sure the orphanages are running properly, and then he goes to this one orphanage where the new person is the new kid is the antichrist. Like that's his powers. He's literally the son of the devil. And then him and
Yes.
the orphan, like the guy who runs the orphanage, they start falling in love. But they're both like schlubs in their mid 40s. It's just I've never
Oh,
seen a love story of like two like
relatable.
40 like middle aged like not hot not powerful men falling in love while they're trying to like figure out what to do with the Antichrist, who's actually this sweet little 7-year-old who's like just
Oh,
super melodramatic.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. But
That's
other than that,
cute.
I don't want to read. I don't want to read X-Men novels. I need to see
Yeah.
pictures.
Speaking of novels, are we done with X Factor 4?
Yes, and I think we should talk about the next X-Men thing
Yeah,
because
it read like a novel. It was so long.
are you talking about Fantastic Four?
No, I was talking about the Giant Size X-Men tribute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, really quick. It was fun. They did a Giant Size X-Men. Like, they had different artists draw each page of the original Giant Size X-Men #1 that introduced our new X-Men.
I never realized that Chris Claremont didn't write that.
Neither did I. I think I knew it, but I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
That it was Len Wein and not Chris Claremont.
So he didn't. So did Len Wein create those characters?
Yeah.
You don't
Shouldn't
know.
we know this?
You
Shouldn't
don't
we
know.
know this?
We don't
This
know anything.
show, Evil Jeff, you've just killed the show. We have no credibility.
Ah! We know everything. Yeah, it's just like, so who created the X-Men? It's like, you ever see the IT crowd?
Lee. You ever see what?
The IT crowd, that British show.
No.
Like the
one
woman
with
who
them,
runs
yeah.
it, she works in IT, but she's like an idiot. And at one point, she's like, oh, I know everything about computers. She's like, oh my God, what does IT stand for? And then she's like,
That's funny. There's some really great pages. Like, I think some of my favorite pages in the Giant Size X-Men tribute are, they have Mark Brooks do like the page of them on the staircase, like when they're assembled in front of Xavier, Storm
Yeah.
and Banshee and all them. Beautiful. Page 17 is a great page by Valerio Schiti, who is going to do the Sword book. Mm-hmm. And there's a great page. My favorite is page 34 by Javier Rodriguez. Oh God, what is he? He did the covers of the History of the Marvel Universe limited series. This really creepy the page where they're fighting Krakoa for the first time, and Krakoa is like this big monster. Oh, some beautiful pages in here.
yeah, it's great.
It's great, but hey, are you considering the Fantastic Four book
Yeah,
an
let's
X-Men
consider.
book?
Yes, we should consider it an X-Men book.
I'm here for
It
it.
takes place on Krakoa for a big portion of it, and it has Iceman.
I thought you were going to say for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, it has Franklin on Krakoa, and it has Iceman all over it.
And it has sexual
loved
tension
this book.
between
Iceman and Johnny.
and Johnny Storm.
We're like, we know what this is really about, Johnny.
Yeah.
Why is he making you so mad? So this is by Dan Slott and Paco Medina. I thought this issue was so fun. I loved
cute.
it. Super cute because it's Bobby taking Franklin from Krakoa to the Fantastic Four. To
And I
wherever they are now.
love that
think
you
they're on the
see
NC.
Franklin is now wearing an X-Man
Yes!
suit.
He's in
He
like the
got
New Mutants,
An
trainee.
earring.
Yes!
And he's just hanging out with Pixie and who else was in that? Who else?
Anoli.
And Anoli. Like he's just hanging out with all of the X kids.
I love it. I want Anoli to have a crush on Franklin.
I need Rachel to show up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Rachel's
God.
boyfriend was Franklin Richards.
Yeah,
And he's now
like-
starting to go through puberty. And so she would feel. Can you imagine? Okay, here, and this is going to be an awkward conversation.
Okay.
Let's just say you woke up and it was 1992. And then you see your husband, but he's like 15. Like
Yeah.
or 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you feel horrified?
Yeah, I would.
Because you'd be like,
I would. I would. It's like Runaways.
Yeah.
It's like chasing Gertrude.
Yes. Yeah. Can we please have that awkward moment, please?
Yes.
I live for that
would love
shit.
that. Rachel's like so great when it comes to embarrassing situations.
Yes.
I love it.
She's like, I can't handle this. I'm just going to be a lesbian and have sex with Kitty.
I'm just going to be a lesbian and have sex with Kitty. I love this issue because so they have like that current and then they flash back to early X-Men days, early Fantastic Four days when Iceman had this adventure with him where he replaced the Human Torch for like a day. But they play with the art and the writing. They go back to the way everyone looked back then, very 60s looking.
Yeah.
And there's just moments where Dan Slott like has fun with that retro humor. Like they get fan mail, the Fantastic Four, and
Yeah.
the invisible girl does not get a letter. So misogynistic.
Yeah, it was just
Love
super fun.
And then there was like other weird moments where like Iceman is done going on adventures with the Fantastic Four because Human Torch has shown back up. He's like, I want my spot back. And then Xavier is like, Iceman, we need you back at the mansion now. Like he comes in telepathically. And there's kind of a hint that Xavier like mind controlled Bobby to come back to the mansion. Bobby's like, I must go now.
Oh, I didn't even think
strange.
about that. Oh,
I picked up on that.
I mean, it's been established that Xavier was doing some
Yeah.
shit. Well, now it's been established that he's had an end game the entire time.
The entire time. And you know,
The whole
Bobby's an Omega.
time?
We're not losing that the whole time. And then at the end, they invite Bobby in to stay for Thanksgiving. And they say, you know, Bobby's part of the family. I loved it.
Was
I
that
was like, oh my God,
Thanksgiving?
it's a
I thought it was
Thanksgiving
just
issue?
I thought it was just dinner. It was
No,
actually
it was the big
Thanksgiving.
turkey.
Oh, I guess Thanksgiving is coming up.
Oh, it was so cute. This issue is so cute. It's like, it's outside of any current continuity in any books. Like, it's just a really cool, cute, funny story. Loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. That's enough of X. That's enough.
Enough!
I haven't read any other books. Have you read any other books?
Yeah, just hit the music for the next segment.
Okay. You gotta get a comic if you wanna get ahead.
Yeah, so I read 3 additional books. We'll hit them really quick. I want to introduce a new segment at the end of this segment, a new sub-segment.
All right,
And I
this
think
is
you'll be
very
proud of
confusing.
me.
Okay.
Okay. This is the segment, Gotta Get a Comic. It's about our non-X-Men comics. Within it, I'm going to introduce a new sub-segment. But first,
We're gonna
I'd
do
like to talk
another
about-
sub-segment. Isn't there another sub-segment too?
no.
There's not the ew?
Oh, I'm going to replace ew with something else. That's where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. It's fun.
Okay.
Shang-Chi #1 came out. I
Shang-Chi,
think it's
is this setting up, do you think, anything for us to be prepared for the movies? Is it just like hyping us up for the
wonder.
movies?
So, I don't know. I love the character of Shang-Chi. I enjoy whenever I read him, but I don't know too much about his history and mythology. So it opens with these kind of, these 5 weapons. Like, each weapon is a tribe. There's, like, the tribe of the staff, and the tribe of the hammer, and the tribe of the dagger, and the tribe of the saber, and the tribe of the hand. And they all fell under this, like, martial arts, mystical arts, kind of like king sorcerer. They're like his children, quote unquote. So these 5 tribes, all represented by a different weapon, it seems like they're constantly in battle for like which one has more power over the others. Mm-hmm. So current continuity is that Shang-Chi is the leader of the tribe of the hand.
I mean, so the hand just means you just do pure martial arts?
Yeah, martial arts. Yeah.
I mean, how's that going to beat a knife? I don't know. I guess you can. Okay, I'm just thinking too hard.
I think you need to study martial arts.
Can there be a tribe of the gun? I think that one will win.
Oh, the tribe of the AK-47. Horrible. They're called the Deadly Warriors, and they're part of the 5 Weapons Society.
We're the Deadly Warriors.
And so their father is dead. He was killed at the hands of Shang Chi, and so it opens with the leader of the Staff tribe versus the leader of the Hammer tribe. And the leader of the Hammer tribe is a woman, and she kills the leader of the Staff tribe. When that happens, some mystical object that represents the spirit of their father decides who is now going to rule among the 5 tribes, and it decides that the tribe of the hand will rule, despite the Hammer's best efforts to take power. And so the Hammer is like, fuck that.
Wait, real quick. Is this telling stuff that has already happened in previous comics?
No,
or
this is
all
current.
New stuff? Okay.
This is all new stuff, yeah.
Now, are these 5 tribes, has that been established before, or do you just...
That's what I don't know. That's
Okay.
that's the part I don't know enough about. It seems like, yes, if a previous story is about Shang-Chi
If I
killing
had
the
a
father,
hammer, I'd
yeah,
hammer
the song
in the
is about this,
morning.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think this is all continuity that's led up to this. So, basically, Hammer kills Staff.
It's like
Elder,
rock, scissors, paper thing.
yeah, Elder is like, Hand is the one in charge, not you, Hammer. Hammer's like, well, fuck you, I'm going to go kill Hand. So Sword and Dagger show up to Shang-Chi, to Hand, and is like, Hammer's coming to get you. And
It's hammer time. I don't know why. I'm just trying to do as many
hammer
references
time.
as I can.
It's Hammer time. And Shang-Chi
Can't
is like,
touch
oh my
this.
god, that's crazy, because the head of the Hammer tribe is the girl I secretly grew up with, my sister.
Oh, so the tribes. So your sister could be on a different tribe.
Yeah. So Shang-Chi's little sister is coming to kill him to take power of
What
the
a
5 Weapons
bitch.
Society. What a bitch!
That's
She's-
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. The writer is Jin Luong Yang, and the artist is DK Ruan. I think that's how it's
Is
pronounced.
that a
And then
male
you've got-
gene or a girl gene? Is that like Gene Hackman
I think
or
it's
Gene
male.
Gray?
Yeah, Gene Wilder. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Philip Tan does the who we know, he's done some X-Men books, I believe. He does some flashback scenes. So what I like about this is you've got a creative team that is of Asian, maybe Chinese descent, writing this kung fu story. So it just there's a line where Shang-Chi starts speaking English, and this British intelligence officer is like, God, your English sounds like a fortune cookie. And like at first I was like, ooh, that felt weird. And then I looked to see who wrote it, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's going to be like a little bit more of a grounded point made. And then a point is made. Shang-Chi is like, yes, I speak slow because basically white people pay more attention to me and think of, like, they just listen more when I slow my cadence and use quote-unquote wise words. Westerners look at me rather than past me. So it's like he puts on this kind of caricature so that he can get his point across to white
Racist
people.
piece of shit.
Yeah, it's really it was like a nuanced point that I thought was interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get a message in there.
So it's a good story. It's got promise, good martial arts, Shakespearean kind of stuff. Recommend.
And then I can just close my eyes and imagine, what's his name? The actor who's playing him.
Oh,
from Kim's
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu.
I saw a video of stuntmen rehearsing for that movie.
Ooh.
And it looks really cool.
I will admit I have followed a few of like the Thai gay soap opera actors. But now when I go on Instagram, whenever I go on my Instagram feed, It's the algorithms. It is literally just like topless Asian men. And I'm like, you can throw other races in there too, just because I followed these two guys I liked.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not complaining. But it does make me feel. It makes me feel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like you've got, a preference, quote unquote.
Anyway.
Strange Academy #3 came out. I won't talk too much about it because I understand you did not read it and you like it. They take a field trip to the French Quarter in New Orleans.
Nice
and
to get drunk.
Antics ensue. Yeah. Doyle Dormammu is the kind of the focus.
Is he still in fighting with that one Asgardian roommate?
He's starting, he says something about like the other twin, the one he doesn't live with, makes like a quip, and Doyle's like, "Oh, you're lucky I hate your brother, his roommate, more, or something. Like, otherwise I'd hate you more." Like, I butchered that. But then Desi, the one from Limbo, who like can see everyone's secrets, she's like, "You don't hate either of them." He's like, "Shut up."
I love her, but she's like,
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, and she...
I know everything about everybody.
She calls out another thing about...
That one girl?
The one girl. And so they go to like a voodoo fortune teller. And that one girl like starts speaking like a foreign language. The fortune teller like scares and tries to hurt Emily while she's reading her fortune. Oh, no, Doyle. She shows Doyle like a really disturbing vision of his future. And then that girl, Desi's roommate, like starts speaking in some sort of language to the old fortune teller. And the old fortune teller goes, "Oh my God, are you?" And the girl goes, "Tranquille." And then the woman goes, "Oh, yes, child. I'm very sorry." So this girl is someone of power in this corner of the magic world. You just don't know who. But there was a point like somebody's making a zombie joke, and Desi noticed how much it upset her roommate when like the undead and half dead were mentioned.
Oh.
So all very like you just more stuff about these kids are coming out, like more of these secrets are coming out. And it's just starting to feel like the Magicians more and more.
And that can't be bad.
No, exactly.
Love it.
Yeah, and like they're really like this field trip they take, like they're really starting to come together as a team. Like they get into trouble, they stick up for each other, like they're sharing, like they're just really starting to coalesce, and it's really enjoyable.
Well, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. And now...
Is this the new segment?
And now I'd like to talk about Three Jokers #2 by Jeff Johns, and last name is Fabok, big DC artist. Did you know that DC Comics don't come out on Wednesdays anymore?
They come out on Tuesdays, right?
That's right. So I'd like to talk about Three Jokers #2 in a new segment I call See You Next Tuesday, DC Comics.
Oh my God, I love
it. Three Jokers #2 is vile. It's just so dark and so vile. Is
it like dark for so just to be like sensational and not even interesting?
Right, like that's it, which is the thing I have about DC Comics. Like this, like it just feels so edgelord, like dark because they think dark is cool.
Because of The Boys. The Boys is kind of like that.
Oh, absolutely! Ooh, absolutely is like that. I want to talk about when we talk about The Boys in a little bit. I want to bring something like that up. It is so steeped in trauma. It's so steeped in violence and just horror. Like it I just roll my eyes as I read it. Like, it's all about revisiting when Jason Todd was murdered by, I think it was the clown or the comedian, one of them.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Wait, it's the clown, the comedian, and then the psychopath?
And the criminal.
The criminal.
And the criminal seems to be the one in charge, the first one. And Jason Todd, I can't even remember. Like, Jason Todd killed either the clown, or it's Jason Fabok, the artist. He killed either the clown or the comedian.
Wait, Jason Todd killed one of the Jokers?
In the first issue, at the end of the first issue.
Oh,
he shot him in the head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jason shot him in the head. Then he's kidnapped by the other two. and they make it seem like they're going to turn him into the third Joker. They don't. They just hurt him. They beat him. And then Barbara and Bruce find him, and like Barbara brings him back to his apartment, and they bond. They kiss while he's in nothing but a towel. It's super hot. Over like shared pain and shared trauma.
Is Commissioner Gordon still alive? Is her dad alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know in the DC. There's so many rebirths. I don't know. I can't keep track of any of it.
Right. So I think it was actually the comedian that Jason killed. So it's the clown and the criminal that take Jason and torture him again.
But then did he kill the one that killed him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, or is it the clown? Like the one that... No, because the one that beats him is like, this is more fun than when I did it the first time. Oh. So I think like they're confused as to which Joker is... Like, I'm confused. I also don't care. It's just like... It's like that feeling of like the heroes in crisis kind of like melodramatic, slight misunderstanding of trauma. I don't know. I'm sure Tom King has experienced more than I have, but anyway, this is Jeff Johns. Anyway, long story short, the Jokers then kidnap Joe Chill and are going to do something to Joe Chill.
Wait, who the fuck is Joe Chill?
The guy that shot the Waynes in the alley.
Oh, right. Oh, Jesus. So I thought he was like, the criminal. No, okay, I guess that's just Batman 1.
Right. It's just... I'm tired. Like, I would prefer to read Iceman's Wacky Adventures with the Fantastic Four that's got some humor and wit than read this kind of, like, dark, dense, painful garbage.
Okay.
Like, part of it is, like, if this is the, like, I don't know, if this is the Joker, shouldn't some of it be fun?
Yeah. Well, I think the problem is now Injustice is so popular, and that one's so dark, and then... They have the zombie one that was really... I think they just like taking everything to this darkest turn. They're still going the route of Batman Returns. Everyone thinks that Batman Returns...
Begins.
Or Batman... No, wait, what's the one with... what's the one with Joker in it?
Oh, Tim Burton?
No.
Like Batman?
No, the one with Heath Ledger.
Good Lord, help me. Yeah. So the whole Batman Begins, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, Return. Yeah, all that. The Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, they still are like trying to dig into that. It's even with the movies too. They try to do this like dark. When the thing that they don't realize, the thing that makes DC different and interesting is it's the golden age. It's like these are these epic heroes that are like the American dream. And when you try to flaw them and give them these dark, fucked up pasts, it almost... I guess it really just depends. You could do it when it's Christopher Nolan's. For me, it works in Titans, the TV show. But it's a really hard thing to pull off. Otherwise, it just seems like trite and cliche.
It is so best summed up with... I just saw this too on Twitter. Do you know what Netflix description of Man of Steel is? The Superman?
What is it, just like a dark interpretation?
Close. Man of Steel. A hero from the stars has a huge challenge. Saving all of humanity? Nope. Keeping his superpowers a secret.
Is that literally what it says?
That's literally the description on Netflix of the movie Man of Steel. I mean, at least, somebody could have faked it, but...
All right, so how many cunts do you give that? I don't know how we're rating this.
I give it 5 cunts.
Okay. And as a gay man, that's bad. We love women. So we've talked about comics. Can we also real quickly talk about... some superhero shit?
You want to watch stuff with someone?
Yeah, watch it with me.
Hit it.
Someone who watch
superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
The Boys.
The Boys.
I understand episode 7 is the penultimate issue.
Jeez, episode.
Oh,
Issue?
fuck me. Start over the... We have to start the show over. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode
But I love when you say
151.
this episode is the penultimate
You infected
issue.
me. I used to never do that until I did a show with you.
That's my superpower. The Boys is... we didn't talk about it last week. Apparently, very similarly to the Gifted, the X-Men Gifted show, there's kind of like this lockdown where they're like basically injecting people with V and testing them out.
Yeah.
And that's where we get to see there's a guy who has dick powers.
Oh, God, I loved him.
And there's some powerful kind of non-binary looking character who has like super powerful telekinesis. That person escapes alive. So they're going to come back.
Yeah, I call them clench, because every time they clench their fists,
Yes.
like crazy shit happen.
And then Iceman shows up as Pyro.
Shawn Ashmore. Yeah.
Did you know Shawn Ashmore said he called the actor who played Pyro to get tips on how to...
Amazing. Yeah, he plays Lamplighter, who used to be on the Seven, and who murdered the Colonel's grandkids, the Colonel being the woman who assembled the boys in the first place.
Was it her grand... Oh, it's her grandkids, not her kids.
It's her grandkids,
Okay.
yeah. Frenchie witnessed that, and they've explored... Frenchie and Lamplighter have kind of talked about that and explored it, and Frenchie understands now the pain that Lamplighter feels because of that incident. It was a mistake, it was an accident, and Lamplighter is, I would say, on the verge of suicide over it.
Yeah, he's really beaten up over it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Stormfront is kind of heading all of this research. And as we start to see in the latest episode, she thinks the answer is she wants more soups. And
yes, she wants a lot more soups. Like, just shoot everybody up with Compound V.
But I'm sure, because also at the end of the last issue, it turns out she literally was friends with Hitler. She grew up in Berlin. She's a full-fledged white supremacist Nazi. At first I was like, oh, she's just a white supremacist. No, she founded it.
No, she's an actual Nazi.
Well, it's not even she's literally the founder.
She's like, she's like, funny story about how I invented the word Nazi.
Yeah. Basically, what happens is this was a point when she finally reveals this, when Stormfront reveals this to Homelander, it was like, okay, is Homelander going to realize oh, I am a Nazi. I'm basically on the side with the Nazi. This is too much. I need to switch sides. I was like, is he going to do that? No, he doesn't do that.
It seemed like it for a second.
For a second, he might be like, oh, where are the bad guys? There's a great sketch. Oh, I forget who did it. Some British sketch where these Nazi people.
Oh, wait, are we the bad guys?
Yeah, they're like all these skulls are on spikes. They're like, I think we're the bad guys.
Yeah, no, he also goes full white supremacist, full superheroes, full genetic supremacist, let's call it.
And as we see in the last episode, they're now just promoting this. It looks very familiar. It's basically a Trump rally.
Yeah.
These immigrants are coming in and they could have powers and we don't have any control.
They could be super terrorists.
Yeah, it's very real, especially with everything that's happening right now.
And they're so... Stormfront and Homelander, the two villains, are so into the genetic superiority that they go and they kidnap his son, that Butcher's ex-wife is raising.
I'm very surprised they didn't just kill Butcher's wife.
Me too. And they take the kid away from her, leaving her with nothing.
Yeah.
And she's
just a fake house.
Not cool.
In a fake neighborhood.
Yeah, so basically Homelander took the kid, flew him up to the sky, and was like, see, your town is fake, your house is fake.
Your mom's been lying to you.
You're in a prison. Yeah. Your mom's a liar. Let us take you where you can live with us and be like us, be a hero. And her argument is she needs his mother, and Stormfront who gets more vile with every episode, is like, don't worry, he has one.
And then,
Terrible.
of course, this boy with his blondish hair and blue eyes, you're like, Stormfront is loving it.
Loving it.
I watched one of the after shows.
Yeah, Inside the Boys.
Where she was just like, she's like, there is something, they were like, how is it as a Jewish woman playing this part? And she's like, there's something empowering of being a Jewish woman playing a Nazi.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I'll admit, it's a stretch. But...
Yeah, she's like, but I'm just looking forward to her being horribly punished.
Yeah. Other highlights, we have a moment that I've truly been waiting for from 2 seasons of The Boys, for Queen Maeve to say enough and to start kicking ass. And we get that when she saves Starlight, who's been imprisoned by the Seven, or by Homelander, and Stormfront.
Does she kill Black Noir?
We don't know, so that was hilarious.
Oh my god, his weakness
Black Noir,
is nut
amazing.
allergy?
Black Noir turns out has a nut allergy. We know this because Queen Maeve, when she saves Starlight from him, shoves an almond joy in his mouth.
And takes away his EpiPen.
And kicks his EpiPen away. Incredible. Like, that's a fight I really wanted to see Queen Maeve square off against one of them, particularly one of the more powerful ones, like Black Noir. So I was like, nom, nom, nom.
And I like that this show really deals with biphobia from the other end, because her girlfriend leaves her because she's like, this is too much. Like, I can't. I'm a normal person. I can't handle this. And granted, it's like, but the funny thing is, Maeve is like, bitch, this is why I haven't been telling you anything. I've been trying to protect you the whole time, you stupid bitch. Like, I feel so bad for her. But the way she drowns her sorrows, having an orgy with a bunch of hot guys.
Yep.
And then the whatchamacallit lady walks in like, no, you are a lesbian! You are a lesbian!
the PR lady. And I loved that, where she's like, Ashley, could you once in your life be a fucking human being? Yeah. And like, that got through to Ashley. She was like, I'm sorry. It was great.
But at the same time, Ashley, you could hate her, but she's literally like, if I don't do my job, Homelander's going to murder me.
Yeah,
like she's trying to stay alive too. So I do feel bad for her. Like, what is her odds of being alive by the end of the season?
I feel like she's like a cockroach, Ashley. Like, she's gonna keep surviving.
She like
somehow.
comes out of the rubble at the end of all.
Yeah.
But then that leads to the end where they finally get like the former head of Vought to, because Lamplighter commits suicide, so he was going to testify in front of Congress. So that
so he helps Huey break in to save Starlight, and in the process, once he gets Huey in, he kills himself.
Yeah, but then they get, the old head of Vought, who kind of was the one that took Butcher's wife away and knew about the kid and all of that stuff. He goes to testify.
The hearing of whether or not superheroes should be in the military. And
one of the main guys in the hearing, his head explodes.
The judge.
Yeah, so clearly he's bought by Vought.
Wait a minute. Everybody's heads explodes.
Not everybody.
Did you not watch the end?
Yeah, there was a few people that didn't.
Yeah, but most of the people in that courtroom's heads exploded.
Yes, that's what I mean. But I think it's the people that were secretly working under Vought.
Oh, I don't. I think. Oh, you think Vought like took out all their moles?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
because there's no reason why that one congresswoman wouldn't have been killed.
Yeah.
She's the main one trying to stop Vought. They would have blown her head up.
Yeah, so
I think those are people that Vought went in and implant. Like, I don't think it's something that they can kill anyone. They have to implant something in your brain. And for that to happen... Oh, you disagree?
I think it's someone with powers.
Oh.
I think it's a secret person with powers.
Why did they explode? They exploded one of the seven, too. The speedster.
Yeah, the guy that replaced A-Train. Yeah.
Yeah, just everyone's head exploded. And then I was like, this show is insane.
It's insane. Like, it was a courtroom full of people's heads exploding while our main character, so Vogelbaum is killed. Other characters, like, no one really of great import, except the guy that started the whole program and the judge of the hearing, and like other Congress people. The congresswoman who's against Vought gets out with... Who rescues her? Ashley? Like, does Ashley pull her out? Somebody grabs her and gets out of there.
Yeah, and then because the bodyguard's head explodes.
Bodyguard's heads explode. So I think it's one of two people. Because the implant thing, I think, is far-fetched. Because like that like awesome lady CIA officer, like her head exploded early this season out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she would have gotten implanted with something.
So you think if somebody has powers, his power is to blow up people's heads.
And this is who I think it's either. Giancarlo Esposito, the current head of Vought.
Okay.
You know, the guy from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You know who I want to be MCU Magneto. And or I think it's the guy from ER, the head of the cult that A-Train and the Deep are getting recruited into.
Oh, interesting. I love all of that. I think if it's only one more episode, we'll probably find out next episode.
Yeah, I'm so sad. The A-Train and the Deep cult storyline is fantastic.
Yeah.
You could tell that there's something brewing there for season 3 because Eagle, the Archer, the Hawkeye, has left the cult and he is starting to speak out against them. And the cult leader, Goran Vishnik, was like, oh, he's toxic. Oh, God, you wouldn't believe it. He's crazy. So he's brainwashing the Deep into hating Eagle, his former friend.
Yeah, just like Scientologists do.
Just like Scientologists. The Deep, by the way, when he saw on TV all the heads exploding, checked his own head. He, like, felt his own skull. I love Chase Crawford. Chase Crawford, comedic actor of our time. But I think you'll see that I'm sure Eagle's head will explode at some point. You're like, yeah, it's the cult. Speaking of season 3, did you hear the news, the casting news?
No, what?
So, each member of each superhero, you can align with a current superhero. Like Homelander is Superman, Black Noir is Batman. You can do that for most people. The Deep was Aquaman.
Maeve is Wonder Woman.
Maeve is Wonder Woman. Starlight is more of like an archetype. And there are more characters in the comics. There's like an Iron Man character. We have the Eagle, who's like Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. There is a Captain America character.
Right.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Who's like a big joke in the comic.
Oh, did somebody get cast as him?
Yes.
Who?
Season 3. Soldier Boy is going to be a big part of season 3. Jensen Ackles.
Wait, who the fuck is that?
The guy from Supernatural, the blonde guy, like the gorgeous blonde guy from
Supernatural.
I am so excited.
That's great.
I'm beside myself with
enthusiasm. Because that show finally is ending.
After like 14, 15 seasons.
That's
but
insane.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is going to play, and he's perfect for like a douchebag Captain America.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. So, very excited for that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But very excited for the end of The Boys. I love that we introduced a new segment, How Many Cunts Did You Give It? And then we went right to talking about The Boys, the main character for which favorite word is cunt.
Cunt. Well, it's different in Britain.
It is different.
UK cunt doesn't have the same power as it does in America.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Yeah. You cunt.
You cunt. That's fun, though. We should use it here like that.
Yeah. Cunt.
Also talking about TV, I know you didn't watch it yet. I urge you to watch last week's episode of Lovecraft Country, the
I will watch it, and we'll because I'm sure that's going to end soon. We'll talk about that next week.
Oh, it is really something. It's like one of those.
But then you need to watch because you said you skipped over one of them, so you need to be
the Korean War
totally
one.
Caught up too, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and doesn't that have Blink from The Gifted in it?
Yes, she's the one who. She's the main character.
Yeah.
See her naked.
Ah! Oh my God, my friend Steve is so in love with her. He's gonna love that.
Not really.
Oh my God, EvilJeff.
There's gross things when she's naked. It ends up. There's a lot of gross things that happen.
Oh, okay.
But it's good stuff because that's where I was telling you where she fucks the guy from Heroes.
Oh yeah,
the hot guy from
Heroes friend, the guy who didn't have powers,
whose body is snatched.
Ooh, I
Because I'm
can't
just
wait.
like, you're probably like in your 50s and your body is snatched.
Have you seen Lenny Kravitz?
Yes, he's in his 50s too.
He's
It makes
56.
I'm just like, I have the body of like an 89-year-old. Like, what is happening that these 50-year-olds... The same thing with, like, was it Dylan McDermott? His body's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Well, we have to hold down jobs.
I know. Well,
Like,
they
they
do
don't-
too.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I know
Like, they
what it
do
is.
one
I just
thing every
don't-
6 months.
I
you know,
don't
make
trust
money.
pecs and I don't trust abs. I don't trust them.
No, me neither.
When someone
You
has
shouldn't.
these huge pecs, it's just, I don't, it's like, how, you have to be doing something to get them that big. Like, your
Yeah.
whole life has to revolve around your pecs.
Yeah.
I don't
Stupid.
have time for that.
It's really stupid when you think about it.
God damn it, I can't, but I love them.
But I sure love them.
Sure love looking at them.
Yeah.
All right, well,
This episode has been brought to you by Pecs.
pecs and abs.
Touch 'em.
Pecs and abs. Bought myself a fancy pair.
Got the bingo bongos done.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. A lot more fun stuff is happening. It's October, and I start watching
Spooky.
horror movies throughout October. So we're probably going to start up talking about the new, the new haunted house thing on Netflix.
Oh, The
What's
Haunting
it?
of Bly Mansion.
The Haunting of Bly Mansion. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably going to start talking about that. Watch some spooky shit. Because me and Brett are, and we'll probably bring them. Maybe we should have like a little spooky segment for.
Oh, I think we should.
For
Yeah.
the month of October.
I think so. There's also a show. It looks like an anthology series. Like it's about a different character, and it takes place in a different town every episode. On Hulu called Monsterland.
Oh yeah. I think I saw.
And
something like
I
that.
bring it up because my friend, my former fraternity brother from college, my friend True Tran, is the star of the episode that's set in Texas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Scary
congratulations,
stuff.
True Tran. I can't wait to watch it.
Scary stuff. And speaking of scary, you better fucking listen to our podcast, and you better fucking just subscribe. And
Oh my God.
give us ratings.
Your tone.
I know, right? Give us ratings and comments. Send us comments. Send us DMs. We want to interact with you. And one last thing, Brett, can you end this for us?
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between and beyond, and who any of that thinking doesn't apply to in the first place, if you read comics, warning, that makes you queer.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.